Hey, welcome friends. My name is Lynn, and why do I have stacks and stacks and stacks of cardstock in front of me? Well, I'm really excited, super thrilled to finally at least get to film this video. It'll be another few weeks before you actually are watching it, but I'm really excited to announce that what you see in front of you is my very first design team package from Cut Cardstock. And I just am so honored that I was chosen out of probably many people who applied to get to join the team this year. And one of the things that I immediately knew I wanted to apply because Cut Cardstock is actually where I used to buy Nina Classic Crest Solar White cardstock when I was still buying it. These days I use Hammermill and Accent Opaque, but when and you all know if you're a fan of Nina cardstock, it can be kind of expensive, but if you know me, you know I am a bargain shopper. I like to shop around, find the best prices, and Cut Cardstock was the best retailer of Nina Classic Crest Solar White. So when you shop their website, if you're not familiar with their company, their online shop, they do retail other brand cardstocks and paper stock. But what I wanted to do with my selection is to actually focus more on their own brand of cardstock. So they put out a line of what they call discount cardstock. And so I really want to put their product, first and foremost on my future design team projects. And so everything else you see here is all their brand of cardstock. So here's how I approached my choices. I wanted to make sure that I had some basics. So I do have their Cougar Smooth cardstock in white. This is 80 pound, and when they say smooth, we're talking super smooth. This is smoother than Nina. Nina definitely feels like it's got a little bit more tooth to it when you compare it to this. And in fact, I would almost say that this almost feels synthetic. This almost feels like the Glimmer specialty paper to me. So I'm going to be curious to actually maybe do some hot foiling onto this, maybe do some alcohol marker coloring on it, and see how that compares. It is also, so this is the Cougar Smooth. It is also like a very bright white. It's subtle. This is Nina. These two on the right are the Cougar Smooth. And so Nina has just an ever so subtle, very natural tone to it, where the Cougar Smooth is a very bright white. And it is slightly thinner. So this is 80 pound versus the Nina white I have is in 110. So this will be my white cardstock that I'll be crafting with. 80 pound. I tend to like my card bases 100 pound and higher, but 80 pound I think could still work as a as both layering, coloring, and it could work as card bases. Probably not for like a pop-up or an interactive card, but I would totally use it for like a layered card or a flat card. Then for something a little bit heavier weight, I did pick up natural white in 100 pounds. So I would probably use this if I was going to make something that needed a little bit more sturdiness as part of the card base. So for the pop-up cards and the interactive cards, for example. So I have this, and here's how a natural white and their smooth white cardstock. I mean, this is almost a very cream color. I would say it's like almost a like a vanilla, color. So I don't know that I would class this as white anymore, to be honest. I thought, when I think natural white, I almost think more something in between Nina and this. Maybe just a tinge more in the creamy color. But it's a beautiful color, and I also don't have a lot of this color cardstock, so I think that's it's great to have that. Then I have, so this is interesting. This is their Pop Tone cardstock in black licorice, and it is 65 pounds. So I did want to actually try a couple of their different lines of black cardstock, because I think besides white, having like a really good black cardstock, I know a lot of people are always sort of on that hunt for like a super like jet black, really dark black cardstock. So I wanted to see how this compares to my favorite, which is by Astro Bright. And so let's pull out. So what's interesting, the Pop Tone line, it's advertised as vellum, but not translucent vellum. And it does have a little bit more texture to it. And let me pull out a piece of my favorite black cardstock. Which they also sell at Cut Cardstock. See, I mean, this is still my favorite. I mean, this is Astro Bright, which is 65 pound. Same weight as this Pop Tone, 65 pound cover. But you can kind of see when they're side by side, there's a definite difference. This is my preferred black, and this is, when you put them side by side, you can really see this feels very, very matte black, and this feels almost charcoal by comparison. So I guess we have our first question answered there. I do have a second black, but this is different because it's a pearlized and gunmetal. So okay, so that takes care of some of the neutrals that I have. And then I did also want to make sure that I picked up a good variety of colors so that I would have, if you're die cutting and assembling things, or you're looking to have some mats and layers, I picked up a nice assortment. And to be honest, a lot of this selection was to make sure that I got some basic colors, like a good healthy chunk of grays, and this really nice sand castle tan color for some more basics, and then a variety of different colors. Part of that, these specific color choices, is not only to get some basics, but I was also just shopping what was on sale, to be honest, to stretch my the credit that I was allotted to shop with. And so I was trying to I was thinking about filming this video and sharing this company and this experience and my first design team haul with everybody. And what I wanted to do was be able to show you as many things as possible and give you a good idea for the variety that you can find when you go to shop their site, and more specifically when you go to shop their line of cardstock. And so you can kind of see on the labeling, it's discount cardstock, and so that's their brand of cardstock. They do sell other brands, as I mentioned, so you're gonna find a lot of other popular brands there, like I said, including Nina. But really, what I wanted to actually explore, and that's why this stock. If you look at all of the teals, nobody needs this many shades of teal, except if you're like me and teal is your favorite color, so you know you're going to use it. But why do I have this stack here? Well, very specifically, what I wanted to show was all of the various different lines of cardstock that you can get in what they call discount cardstock, so DCS for short. So these are the same, just in different colorways. Surf and Aqua. They are 80-pound cover weight. Oh yeah, this is nice. 80-pound cover weight and solid color, cardstock and solid core as well. So if you tore this, it would be the same on the inside. So through and through, it's going to be the same. Nice paperweight, and that's a really great, like I said, 80-pound. I would consider using it for a card base, especially if I knew I was going to be adding a lot of mats and layers on top. And otherwise, it's also good for mats and layers. It's not going to be too bulky, too heavy if you want to include multiple layers. So 80-pound, I think, is a really nice, safe choice. Then they have a line of papers called Pop Tone. And with the Pop Tone, I actually got it in a couple different colors here. The Pop Tone is actually 65-pound, and when you go to the website, it actually says vellum, but it's not the sort of vellum that's like your clear translucent vellum, and it says so that you're not confused once you get this. I think vellum does have like a different sort of meaning in the paper stock world, because like for example, I know Bristol has a vellum finish paper, and it's not your see-through kind of vellum. So when I actually feel the two, because this is 65 pounds, so these are both vellum Pop Tone, and they are slightly lighter weight than the regular discount cardstock, which is 80-pound. And if I'm just feeling them, and this is the sort of the characteristics that you can, I think, kind of assume when vellum is the term used for a paper stock. It's really smooth. So I can feel the difference in smoothness between the Pop Tone paper, which is a vellum finish, and then just the regular paper. This is definitely more smooth. Not as silky smooth as that white cardstock that I showed early on, but definitely more smooth. So if you're looking for a paper stock that is great for layering, this being 65-pound, you could probably add multiple mats and layers, die cut this. Maybe if you were doing like 3D flowers and whatnot, you could probably use something like this. 65-pound is really great for that. And it's a really nice smooth finish too, so you could probably stamp on this and it would be really lovely. And you would probably get a nice clear stamped impression as well. So that's Pop Tone cardstock, 65-pound cover, described as vellum on the website, but not a translucent vellum, and they are very careful to mention that. Then the next type of cardstock is a canvas textured cardstock. So this is 80-pound cover weight, and this has more of a textured finish. So probably hard to see on camera, but hopefully that shows the texture. And it's textured on just the one side. So on the opposite side, it is smooth. And interestingly enough, the opposite side has a sticker that's Martha Stewart. So that's interesting. And I think I remember seeing that this was going to be the case. So every sheet in this pack actually has this sticker. So let's see how easy or hard it is to peel this off. Because here's the thing, the textured finish is lovely. But sometimes, even with textured cardstock, I sometimes use the smooth side because if you're familiar with Tonic Studio papers, the Craft Perfect papers by Tonic Studios, or with the Sizzix solid color cardstocks by Sizzix, those are textured. And just like this, usually they're textured on just the one side. So if I peel back this sticker, it's not super hard to actually peel this off cleanly. But look at what... So there is that like little bit of... I can't feel that. So whatever adhesive that was, it's just penetrated the paper stock and has left this sort of like a water stain almost, you know? But it's not sticky. Like, it's completely smooth. So so that is their textured. It's canvas textured, 80-pound cover weight, textured only on the one side. And I do have that in this is Caribbean blue. I've got it in this really nice seafoam green. And one of the nice things about getting a lot of these cardstocks in kind of similar, you know, colorways is, you know, if you're doing anything where you just like to add a lot of mats and layers, it's kind of nice to, you can kind of see these are really nice. Like, this is a nice tint of this color. It's just like a little bit lighter. So that's kind of cool. I like having this variation. So then next, in terms of the next variety, is this one in Hummingbird. And this is a textured pearl paper. So my assumption is that it's going to be kind of the same or similar as that, but it's going to have like a more, maybe like a more pearlized, almost like a metallic finish. And, oh, I can see the shine already. So did you see how that shines? And I'll hold it up close. You can see this has that same canvas texture, but it's got a little bit of that shimmer to it. And this is 80-pound cover weight. Let's see. Yeah, it actually feels about the same. I would have expected that whatever coating gives this the shine, that it would make this feel like it's heavier, but actually no, they feel about the same. Maybe a smidge heavier weight than this, because they're both supposed to be 80-pound. But this too has the sticker on the back. So so there is that. Which, if you're crafting with it, at least, even if you're gonna use the textured side, which is kind of the pretty side, at least it's good to know that this is easy to peel off. It might not be the most convenient because every sheet has this, and maybe you don't always need to actually peel it off if it's just like a matte layer, you know, and no one's gonna see the back of this anyways. But I'm probably, when I go to use it, I'm probably gonna peel it off. So that is their textured pearl paper. So it's the same as their canvas texture, just pearlized to have a little bit of that sort of that metallic sheen to it. So that's really lovely. So this is a bit of an education for me too, because I've only ever bought Neenah cardstock from Cut Cardstock, and it's been a while now since I've actually purchased Neenah cardstock from them. So I was really happy to visit their website and discover first off, so many other brands that I'll probably be shopping their website again at some point. And so I'm looking forward to discovering some of the other new to me brands. Now this is another line of cardstocks. It's called Star Dream Metallic. And in the description, it says that it's mica coated, and this is in the color Lagoon. And it's 105-pound cover weight. So why did I get this? This actually is a little place card that already has a score line in it. And so you're actually meant to just fold this and then kind of decorate it and have it be like a little tent card, a little place card. And why did I get this? Well, I got it for a couple reasons. One, I wanted to get all of the various different lines of cardstock in teal, just so that we can kind of see, how does this look in teal? I thought it would be a good color to kind of showcase all of the different lines, because I think white can be a little bit hard to see, like the various different textures or shine. And for similar but different reasons, black might be hard to appreciate the differences in subtleties between each of these lines as well. And so I thought teal was a color that I know for sure I'm going to use. and so I'm not going to have a problem using up, it'll take me a good while, but I know I'm going to put this teal cardstock to good use. But I also thought it would be good so that you can actually see the various different finishes well, and that it would be a good color to showcase. And so the Star Dream Metallic is probably the more expensive line when you compare all of these. And I don't know off the top of my head the actual prices for everything. So I'll leave links to everything in, or at least the various different categories, in the description box below if you want to check any of that out. But I did want to at least get a little sample of the Star Dream cardstock, and this was the most, to be honest, this was the most affordable because I think it was on sale. And even when you buy, the other reason why I wanted to get this is just to also give you the idea that, well, there's two things. One, that cut cardstock does also sell like folded card bases of various different sizes, envelopes, all of that good stuff. And even though this is pre-scored, and even if it was pre-folded, you could always just cut into this and use it just like you would use solid color cardstock. You would just, maybe avoid the score line. But otherwise, it's perfectly usable. It doesn't always have to be used as the thing that it's being advertised as. You can still just see this as paper stock and die cut out of it. So I figure even with the score line through here, I'm still going to be able to get plenty of use out of this. I can get some mats and layers for sentiments and whatnot die cut out of this. So I think this is still going to be very useful. And that's why I wasn't too worried about getting these smaller sized packs. So this is a 4x6, for example. Great for, mats and layers. I usually on an A2 card would be cutting my first mat at 4x5.25. So I could just snip off a little bit and I've got, a mat layer out of that. Then these are great. They were also on sale. These are 5x7s. So I got a nice little variety here of some really nice basic colors. And then this is also kind of small. It's 3x5, but again, perfect for smaller mats and perfect to die cut out of. So I'm really glad actually, because a lot of these smaller panels, they are pretty affordable. And as a whole, I think the cut cardstock line of papers is very affordable. And so when you look at all of these various products on their shop, not only was I able to get a lot of these on sale, and they do run, the occasional sale on various different lines of papers and cardstocks, but even at their regular price, I think they're pretty affordable. So, oh, this is really pretty. I'm just diving into this gunmetal. Look at that. That's pretty. This is one of the pearlized metallic. So how is the pearlized metallic different from Star Dream? Well, they have, that shine, right? But Star Dream is heavier weight for one. The pearlized metallic is 80 pound versus the Star Dream is 105. And This is smooth. Smooth on both sides. Whereas, oh, that's interesting. The textured pearlized metallic, it's pearlized on one side and metallic on one side. But look at how black that is. This is a nice black. This is a happy accident. Oh, look at that. So that's how it compares against, this is my favorite black. That's a pretty good, see, that was pretty good until I held it up against my favorite black. Let me see the earlier black, which was their pop tone in black licorice. So here's those three. So this is the back of pearlized metallic gunmetal, and you wouldn't, like, gunmetal is more of a silver, right? So that's the pretty side. And then you flip to the back side, and I think you get a pretty nice, pretty decent black cardstock, but still not as black as my favorite. By the way, they sell Astro Bright on on the Cardstock website, so it is available there too. So so that's interesting. I flipped to the back of the hummingbird one, but it didn't jump out at me quite as much because when you look at this and you flip to the back, it's such a night and day difference between the front and the back of the gunmetal. But the hummingbird, there is a difference, actually. I just didn't have it side by side to compare. But it is nice. So you can use the back as just like a very smooth, beautiful color, or use the front for that lovely textured pearlescent shine. But if you don't like the texture of that, then Stardream is where it's at. So this is heavier weight, but it's also smooth, and it's the same finish on both sides. It's identical on both sides. So that might be the other consideration too, because if you're using something that you think is going to be visible front and back, which is I bet why they chose it for the place cards, because the place cards, they're going to be like this, but you might use it as a note card and put a little message on the inside. So it's nice that it's got the same finish on both sides. So so a lot of kind of subtle, but some very noticeable differences between all of these different variations. So let me recap the various lines of their discount cardstock. So you have Stardream Metallic, their kind of heavyweight, 105-pound cover, mica coated, smooth on both sides. Then you have your textured pearl cardstock, 80-pound cover weight, textured and pearlized on one side, smooth and kind of like flat with a sticker on the back. So you have two finishes. And this could be actually a really interesting paper to craft with when you've got like some different folds happening, and when the back versus the front are seen, or part of the final project, this could add some really interesting aspects to the design. So that's 80-pound. Then you have your 80-pound just your regular textured cardstock. So this is textured on one side and smooth on the back side. So you have a subtle texture, like a canvas texture. It's very subtle. I would say this is almost like, do you know like your linen papers? It's almost like that, but not as pronounced. Because when I run my hand across this, I can definitely feel that there's a texture, but it's not a very raised texture. So it's still fairly subtle. I do think though that if you were gonna stamp onto this, you were stamping on the textured side, you're probably gonna not get a super clean, stamping, because look at that texture. It's subtle. It's not super raised, but it's definitely going to prevent like a super smooth stamp. But it is smooth on the back of it though, so you can always use that side. And then we have our well, let me go with this one next. So then we have just the regular discount cardstock. This is also 80-pound cover. So far, most of the paper lines are 80-pound cover. This is smooth. It's the same on both sides. It's smooth, solid core. I think all of these are solid core. And then finally, the lightest weight cardstock is what they call pop tone cardstock, and that has the vellum finish. And the vellum isn't like a translucent vellum, but more in the sense of it being like a really smooth cardstock. So if we're looking in terms of the least textured cardstock to the most textured, the pop tone vellum is the smoothest in their line. Then the regular, what's listed as discount cardstock, this is next in terms of the texture. It's still, there's no actual real texture. It is smooth, but it's not like silky smooth. Like this is more of a silky smooth. And then of course you've got your textured, in terms of smoothness, then the next would be your Star Dream. This is really smooth on both sides as well. And I would say not as silky smooth as your pop tone vellum, but probably smoother than the regular discount cardstock. So those were your smooth options. So discount cardstock, pop tone vellum, and the Star Dream metallic. Those don't have a textured finish. And then you do have the textured line of cardstock. So this is the regular textured, and then you have the textured pearl. So look at all of that variation. Really awesome. Great to get to sort of feel all of these, have them in hand to really feel them, to really compare them to one another, because you can read the description on the website, but it's hard to really know exactly how that's going to look, how it's going to feel until you actually have the product in hand. And so hopefully this helps to give you a little bit of, an idea for these papers. And that way, if you want to shop the Cut Cardstock website for some various different paper stocks, then this should give you maybe a slightly better idea for what the terms are and how that actually sort of manifests in the product itself. So I'm really excited. I'll be sharing, well, you're going to probably see me use a lot of these cardstocks in all of my projects, to be honest, because it's a lot of cardstock. I'm not only going to use it for my design team projects for Cut Cardstock, but what you'll find is that I'll be posting my projects and tutorials for them on the Cut Cardstock blog, which I will cross-post to my own blog. And if I happen to also film a video, then you'll see those videos here on my channel. So I'm looking forward to diving in and sharing some projects when I actually get to craft with all of this beautiful cardstock. Thanks for checking out my haul video today, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.